All right, guys, welcome back to Lake Effect Sports. We're still going strong. The Indians, not so much. It was not the best week of Indians baseball. Since we last recorded, I think we went 2-3. Wait, 2 wins, 2-3. Oh wait, that's not even as bad as I thought. It just seems bad because we lost 2 to the Orioles. So, Matt, give me some positive. I don't know. Anything. Spin zone something for me.
I would say despite how bad the week was, you could make an argument that the offense looked a lot better, but just the pitching it's kind of like one of those things where the offense was better, but the pitching offset that. So the positive, I would say, offense is starting to look better, especially at the top of the order, but we're still having issues with the back end of the rotation that seems to keep happening so far throughout the year. But despite that, we're still in a good spot, I would say.
Yeah, and then the other big thing, Roberto Perez and Plesac, they both had the pins that were in their hands. They had both those pulled. They can start throwing again. Get Plesac back out there. Get him down into the minor leagues, run him through a couple starts. Get him back up as soon as possible.
Yes.
You can have 2 guys that aren't going to be quality starters all the time, and McKenzie might have a bounce back. So if we get back to 4 quality starters and 1 guy who you're like, what you're going to get from him, we'll be in a lot better spot. And now you were kind of talking about the lineup. I kind of agree too. You look at it and you're like, hey, that's an MLB roster now.
Yeah, the roster, I would say, has gotten a lot better. You're getting Cesar Hernandez is starting to return back to form. Ahmed Rosario is starting to hit really well in the 2-hole. And then you got Jose doing his thing. Harold becoming like a legitimate starter right now. You can't complain about the offense. That's been the one thing we've been complaining about. It's just now the pitching has to settle down to where what we know it can be.
And that was kind of the big switch, like you just said. The offense was a AAA team with an MVP hitting third for most of this year. Now you got some bats, and now it's the pitching has 2 very, very good starters and actual AAA pitchers. 3 to 5. I'm joking saying they're AAA guys, but they are. We just called them up and threw them into the starting role. They were never major leaguers before this.
Yeah, that was the thing I was worried about when the Plesac injury happened was how are we going to piece together these starts? It seems simple trying to get 3 or 4 innings out of guys when they're not stretched out, but when they're those guys that are not stretched out or having bad innings that pretty much pull them out right away, and then you got to just throw in somebody from the bullpen that's not that good. It just exacerbates that bad inning or 2 that guy that isn't stretched out. So it's just it just feels a lot worse than it is right now.
Yeah, it's not a great thing when JC Mejia doesn't get out of the first inning, and then you have Phil Maton for 3 innings of baseball. Anytime you see Phil in the game, you're basically saying, "Oh, this one's kind of over."
Yeah,
it's be us up by 10 or we're down by 10.
Yeah, it's like the Zach McAllister effect. You knew something went wrong if Zach McAllister was in. That's kind of what Phil Maton has been so far this year, pretty much.
Yeah, but besides that, kind of have some bats going. Platooning guys have started to work better. So, not a whole lot more really to talk about for this past week in Indians baseball. 3 stars of the week. I have first pick, right?
Yes.
I am going to take Eddie Rosario. He's back. Right. Eddie Rosario is a bat in the lineup that's scary. He's getting 2-3 hits multiple nights in a row. He's not just a black hole where it was just someone walking up and striking out. He's getting hard contact now. He's chasing less pitches, and he's just a much better hitter. I think Eddie Rosario is just a nice, easy first pick.
Yeah, I definitely can agree. He's starting to get back there. He was always drawing he was always able to get runs, but he can never get hits. And now the hits are starting to come along with the RBI production, which is sorely needed right now with Framel out.
Yeah, and before we you give your first pick, that's a big thing people aren't really talking about. With the bats doing better in the lineup, not really being a negative right now, it doesn't even have your second best hitter in it. wait for him to get back in a couple weeks. The lineup's going to start getting a little scary. I think they still kind of need to go trade for just a legitimate guy. But right now, they're holding their own.
Definitely can agree with that. For my first pick, I'll go with Handsome Harold. Handsome Harold Ramirez, man. Like he just keeps on hitting, and like he just keeps making an impact. Even though you wouldn't suspect him to be the best 4-hole hitter, he's still driving in runs, and he's he's giving us production right now, which is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it was a surprise. I wanted him, as like we kind of talked about it on our very first show, while we wanted our 25-man rosters, and I had him on mine, but he didn't make it, and now he's kind of just proven he's a 280 hitter, and he hits the ball hard. He doesn't go up there and just strike out a bunch. He's someone who has great at-bat, not really necessarily great at-bats, great contact is how I'd like to describe it.
Yeah, I think I saw something like Zach Meisel reference. Like he has like a very bad chase rate, but he doesn't strike out a lot, which is weird because if a guy swings at a lot of pitches, you would think he strikes out a lot. It's the opposite effect where he's like he's always aggressive up there, but he just creates all this great contact and it's producing results right now.
Yeah, fully agree. Number 2 for me, kind of a bit tougher. I'm gonna go Cesar. I think I had him on my board last week, and once again, he's starting again. He's not pulled the average up because every time he has a 2-3 hit game, he follows it up with like an 0 for 4 and just yank his average right back down. But I still believe he's going to be a 270 plus hitter by the end of the year. And as it slowly pulls back up, and he's now adding that little power at the start of the lineup too, getting those leadoff home runs. Not any complaints for him, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's still being productive up there despite his average being low, which like this is why I always don't complain about batting average. For me, you always look for like OPS, and his OPS is like around 700, which is still right around average. Like he's still being pretty good up there at the leadoff spot.
Yeah, definitely.
For my second pick, I'll go with the mid Rosario. Like him in the 2-hole has been amazing. Like ever since like I think the Cubs 3-hit game that he had, he's just been on fire. Like I saw a stat where I think his WRC plus was around 30 in the first 30 games, and then it jumped like 100, which is like 133. And for those who don't know, like WRC is like weighted runs created, and like if yours is above 100, you're an above average hitter, and he's close to elite in this like stretch right now.
He's been a great 2-hitter. He kind of started the year in that 2-hole, and they moved him all the way back, and now they've kind of just slowly moved him right back up, and it seems like we've figured out the order in our lineup. There was too much mixing and matching at the beginning of the year where we didn't have any sense of organization in the lineup, and now we've got the Cesar, Ahmed, Jose. The rest is still a little bit of a tricky situation, usually Eddie 4, but now at least we have that front 3. That's kind of what this Indians team's always had. They've always had like the Lindor, Jose, and whoever third throughout the rest of the year. Now we finally have that, so I feel a lot like more confident at least.
Yeah, definitely. Like you're seeing the results, which is great. Like now you just have to figure out the rest of the order and how it's gonna like produce on their end.
Yeah, I fully agree. So my third pick, right?
Yep.
I'm going to take the entire Indians front office. They somehow were able to trade Jake Bauers. Not only did we were just asking for him to be cut all year, they traded. They got something for him. They traded a 190 hitter with 5 extra base hits this year. Maybe like $100,000, and that's great. We can use any money. We're cheapskates. Or if we had a player to be named later, we win that trade easily. Easily.
Like for real. Like I guess somebody at the front office, like they knew somebody in the Marlins front office was like, hey, we're going to see you guys this weekend. I know you guys need a first baseman. You want to just take Jake Bauers? Well, like this weekend, we'll even like, you can even play him this weekend when we don't even care.
Like we got paid from someone for Jake Bauers. Now, I thought we'd have to pay to get rid of him. So shout out whoever was able to conjure up that evil genius plan.
I agree, dude. That when I saw that this morning, I was laughing so hard. It's like you really got cash out of this guy? Like honestly, were they that desperate?
Yeah, seriously.
Okay. Okay, for my third pick, I'll just go with Bieber. Like Bieber has been the steady presence along with like Savale. He's just been our guy all year. Like probably one of the MVPs of the season so far.
Yeah, I mean, we banned him for a little bit, but we let him back on now. Just another nice 6-inning outing, and with how great that back end of the bullpen is, if you get him 6 innings, which we've just really struggled any other year with our starting rotation, we might be 20 games over 500 if we were able to get to these 3 guys. But they're doing enough, and we're still hanging around. Only game or 2 out of the wild card. White Sox they're starting to look pretty hard to catch at this point. So we're gonna fight for that last wild card spot. I think we got a chance to sneak in it.
Definitely. Like if you see the wild card is right now, it's like a 4 or 5 team race right now. I think we're comfortably ahead right now. If I remember, I don't exactly, but I mean, if we're only a game behind the Astros, I think we could like get past the Astros if we got in a good hot streak, probably.
Yeah, we're just outside the playoffs. Boston's the 1 wild card, then Houston, then us, and then the Yankees.
Okay, and yeah, the Yankees, they're kind of floundering. You don't know what you're getting out of them, so I feel pretty confident we can like catch up to the Astros if we keep this up.
So wait, you have one more pick, right?
I think.
Bieber, never mind. So then. I ruined my great transition then. I was going to say, speaking of the Yankees, we got to talk about Gerrit Cole not knowing how to interview. Matt, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Have you ever cheated on a test before?
Ooh, cheated on a test. Like glancing over and kind of like stealing an answer, or just like.
See what you just did right there? You didn't answer the question. And that's kind of just what Gerrit Cole did. He was asked, did you use spider tact? That's a great question. What do you mean? It's yes or that's the most simple yes or no question of all time. He even had the easiest out ever. Say he didn't use spider tack and he used some other random substance. He could just be like, no, I didn't use spider tack. Wink, wink.
Yeah, he could have said like I use rosin and like even like what's the stuff we use to block the sun, like sunblock. Like sunblock.
What's the stuff we use to block the sun? Sunblock. Yes, that's the one.
Yeah, like that's what we. Yeah, he could have just said that, like, and that's allowed. Like that would have been the easiest out ever, but he just did the. I just got caught not knowing what the book was in the front of the class, so I had to make up what the book was about type answer. You know what I mean?
It was the worst plan ever. Everyone has been talking about how you're cheating. I mean, you have to be thinking like every night you go to sleep, like who's gonna ask me? Who's gonna be the first person to ask, am I cheating? It's probably like when the guys were doing steroids back in the 90s and they finally get like called out for it. Barry Bonds is sitting there just every night, like, who's going to ask me if I'm taking steroids? We can all see it. Like, look at my hands, look at my giant head, look at my huge body. Who's going to ask?
For real. Like, yeah, like you've been accused about it for like years, along with Bauer. And now that it's coming to light, you have to think that in the back of your mind. You can't just act dumb and just be like, well, honestly, like, to answer your question, mate, I mean, I don't know that I guess everybody's been using it. It doesn't mean I have, but I mean, who's to say?
Things have been passed down for years and years and years, but I don't know.
Like what type of non-answer is that? Like, come on, man. Like you can't act that stupid. Like the evidence is right there.
And like at this point, everyone knows you've done it. And everyone knows that like 70% of the league is doing it. Just be like, even You could one lie and just say no, and everyone's like, well, you're lying. Or you could have just said, yeah, I did before. I don't use it anymore, but I did at one point.
Yeah, like either way, he's screwed, but like he just made the situation worse by giving like the most obvious non-answer like I've ever seen in a press conference. Like you could not screw that like up even more than that.
That was worse than Johnny Manziel post Vegas trip.
Ooh, the post Vegas trip. I remember that weekend and how crazy that was. Like
Billy Manziel.
Billy Manziel, dude. Oh my God. Just like it started off with the photo and that like it was him in the playbook. Like maybe Sunday morning, it was like, oh, he can't, he's not coming. He's got a concussion. And then just out of nowhere, like after the game, you just see all this leaked out information. And it's just like, how did this just happen? How do you let a player just get like go to Vegas in like on a 24-hour bender like that? Like,
and you're not Dennis Rodman. You don't get that. You're Johnny Manziel.
yeah, you're not getting like the, oh yeah, it's just Dennis Rodman, just let him be. No. You're the most famous frat boy quarterback that the league's ever had, and the biggest bust like that this franchise has ever had. You're not gonna just be like, oh yeah, I was in Vegas, no big deal, dude. It was a big deal. Like, come on.
Yeah. So that's the baseball talk. NBA. Were the Lakers out last week, or do I get to celebrate this week?
Go ahead.
I don't even like the Suns. I don't care. The Lakers are gone. And then I get to complain about LeBron more. First complaint. He has this stupid press conference. Oh, I'm not playing for the Olympics. I'm playing for the Toon Squad. Yeah, doesn't even care about his team, doesn't care about the game. He just cares about making money in LA. Shocker. Just a bad guy. And then secondly, since he's out of the playoffs and no one's talking about LeBron anymore, he's got to keep his name in the limelight. What does he do? He changes his number. All the cameras were off LeBron, but look what everyone's talking about now. Everyone's just talking about LeBron changed his number. It always has to be about LeBron. Am I wrong with that? You got to give me that one. It always has to be about LeBron James.
I mean, with the Space Jam joke, he was just trying to be tongue in cheek. But like, I kind of get it to an extent. Like it's since he was number 6, they're gonna make a big deal about it. I didn't think much of it, but I understand. Just like some people are like, are we really talking about this? Like, so I get that, you know.
I've got nothing. I'm just happy.
All right.
Other NBA stuff. Donovan Mitchell is insane. That's my biggest takeaway. Oh wait. I got a good little interjection right here.
Okay.
I bought 3 fake jerseys from China or whatever. All like basically I got 2 at once and I got 1 like a month after.
Okay.
I've had the worst luck with jerseys. I've had a Braylon Edwards, Colt McCoy, Trent Richardson jerseys.
Oh my God.
I had a Shaq Cavs jersey, an Asdrubal Cabrera jersey. Like, you name it, it wasn't a great jersey. I nailed these 3. Joel Embiid. Notch that one.
Okay.
Donovan Mitchell. Got that his rookie year. Superstar. Listen to this one. Fred VanVleet. Nailed it.
Fred VanVleet? You really bought a Fred VanVleet jersey, dude?
I think I have it right here.
Oh my God. I have to see this.
Oh, yeah. That is a Fred VanVleet Raptors jersey. We the North, baby. I don't have the other ones on me. I think I left them at college, if you can hear me still.
You heard it here first. Drew, the #1 Fred VanVleet fan, right here.
Oh, yeah. I saw him going on that playoff run, and I just immediately got a jersey. And then once he beat Kevin Durant, I was like, oh, this was vindicated.
Yeah, man. Like, like ever since that playoff run, I think he had his kid at the time. Like, and he just started going off. Like, it just was one of those things. Like, yeah, he's a legend now. Like, the dude had one of those great playoff runs. Like, he's just a legend.
Yeah, it was. I love him now. So, NBA playoff talk. It kind of does suck that LeBron's out. There's a lot less to talk about. Usually, I just I don't know what to do. You know, like I was cheering. Like I told everyone I'm cheering for the other 15 teams in the playoffs.
Yeah, I had a similar situation. My brother and my dad do not like LeBron either. I'm always on an island. I'm always that guy that they're kind of just like, like just pretty much first game. I think like my brother in the first 15 minutes of game 5 or 6, where the Suns were hitting everything. He was the loudest person I've ever seen in the first 15 minutes of a game I've ever seen in my life. Like I was over in the corner, like, are you serious right now? Are you that happy? Like, but yeah, like I totally get that.
But it's just tough now because like last year, it sucked when he won, but I had something to cheer for each game. Now it's like I kind of want the Jazz, I guess, because I like Donovan Mitchell. I don't want to see the Nets win, I guess, because I don't want to see a super team win.
True.
Besides that, I really don't care anymore.
Yeah, you're kind of like the Max Kellerman tweet, like, oh, since LeBron's out now, nobody's gonna care about a Utah like Philly series if that happens. Like nobody cares. Like, but I think there was a grain of truth to that, because like if the league keeps losing superstars to these teams, there is a bit of like, yeah, who are we gonna cheer for again? Because like the finals is always about stars, and like if you lose stars in like the first round, that it loses its luster, I would say.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm still watching like almost every game in the playoffs, so I still like care about the NBA playoffs, but I guess I'm just not cheering for anyone now. So I don't really have much NBA stuff.
Yeah, but I am cheering for the Suns. CP3 to the finals. Let's get him there.
I can get behind that one. I can get behind a CP3 ring.
Yeah, like, and the Suns are fun. So him and Donovan Mitchell together, like it. That's my team right now. Since LeBron lost, that's my team right now. They're just so fun right now.
There's one storyline too that could be a great finals matchup: Blake Griffin versus Chris Paul. Old enemies collide for a nice little finals match. Two guys who couldn't get there together on their own. I think that could be something cool too.
That would be fun. Like, yeah, like two guys that have been there forever in Lob City, and like they finally get an opportunity after years of kind of just barely like missing out all those years. That would be great.
Yeah. So the other thing is, as much as I do want the Jazz to beat the Clippers, I would love to see the Clippers make their first ever Western Conference Finals.
Only thing keeping them away is Pandemic P.
He's bad. He is bad. But you know who's not bad? Our pickup basketball teams.
Okay.
This podcast, a combined 3-0 now.
Yes, sir. Like, okay, you go first.
All right. So, day of the game, 3 of our guys cancel on us. So we had to find 2 new guys. So we were only playing with 5 instead of 6. And my out of shape self had to play all 40 minutes. Double machine, though. What can I say? I step up in the big moments. Step up 17 and 12. A couple 5 dimes, too. What can I say?
Okay, I see.
Just a baller. And a 10-point win. Easy. Just too easy sometimes.
Okay. For me, we ended up winning by 30. And I would describe the game as like if OSU had to play their first game against like Kent State, and it was like a tune-up game. And they just walk in and destroy Kent State. And like it pretty much felt like that. Like I had 16 points, probably like around eight assists, but the 2 guys that we had, one scored around 20, the other scored around 30. We were probably playing like at 50% effort. It was just like we barely even tried, and we won by like 30, like 79-47, something like that.
So was it you guys are that good, or was that team that bad?
I would say half and half. Like I do, like one of our guys is like 6'8", like yeah, I was shocked too. Like my one friend Elliot's like, yeah, trust me, he's this really tall guy. He kind of plays like Giannis. So like when you see him, and I was like, okay, yeah, dude. And then I just see this giant with long arms just walk in, and it's like, oh yeah, you are 6'8". And then when you see him play, especially when like on fast breaks, everybody just looked small, and it just looked like he was in a layup line, just layup, layup, layup. Like he only took like maybe 2 jump shots the entire time, and it's just like layup, layup, layup's good. Like it was insane. And then the other guy, like Cam, who it was like watching like Dame. It seemed like, yeah, it was just one of those things. Like it was like the perfect tune-up game. Second game's probably going to be more competitive. I've played with these guys forever, and they're really good. So like first game was kind of like a tune-up game, and it was fun.
Yeah, no, I think one of our next 2 games, we're gonna have to face a team that has a bunch of college basketball players on it, a bunch of D2 guys. So we're gonna get ran off the floor. We're facing guys at our team has 0 high school basketball players on it. To put it into perspective.
Okay.
When we're facing D2 guys who can throw down 360 dunks, what are we supposed to do? I don't know. I'm white. I'm maybe 6'1" on a good day. I'm not going up for it.
Yeah. At that point, you're just like, here's the lane, man. Just dunk. At this point, you're not risking it.
Don't hurt me.
Yeah, we're just having fun. Like, who cares at this game? Like, we'll see you in the playoffs, maybe, but yeah, not this one.
No. So we'll be facing someone good here soon because they don't like it when teams in lower divisions have good records.
Definitely. I feel it.
So, you got anything else?
I think I'm good, man.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Check us out. Twitter, TikTok. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next time. Peace out.